there, welcome back to the channel. So, been working on a couple of different things, mainly my Gibson 180 Sonex project, but I thought I'd take a quick break from that, break away, and put this stop piece on here that I got from Philaluthier. It's a locking stop piece tailpiece with M8 posts, 4 M8 posts. And I got it from Philaluthier on eBay, whom I have purchased from multiple times, and I really like their stuff. I really like that company. They ship quickly, and I had a little unboxing video, and it was rather simple to install. Now, the main reason I wanted to do it is because I had chucked up these posts using like a big screwdriver when I was, setting the guitar up. And over time, I started noticing it was kind of chucked up looking. Then I happened to stumble into this while searching for some other stuff and noticed that it had this sort of extra locking component to it, which ordinarily I wouldn't be that into that. But I have this locking bridge that I got from Tone Pros, which locks down onto the post. Originally, this guitar had a trim system on it, the Le Trim system by the Duesenberg Le Trim 2. And whenever I would step on that, I noticed that the original bridge was rocking back and forth. So this Tone Pros solved that. And I don't have the trim system anymore. I'm going without it, but I still like the idea of this being locked down and really secure. I think it improves the tone on this particular guitar. It gives it a little more stability. So I figured, following that theme, I'll lock this stop piece as well. When I happened to see this, I was attracted to it because they already had the lockdown bridge by Tone Pros, and I figured, hey, this is kind of cool. And this guitar has kind of become a platform for tweaks and mods that I wouldn't probably do on a Gibson that was, perfect condition or whatever. On the Sonex, I don't mind, and I did some modifications only because I had 2 open spaces on the pickguard that turns out it wasn't original Gibson, it was a Chandler, so I didn't mind making the changes there as well. Here, I thought about it, and I thought I might put a mini switch here as opposed to the push down pot like the kill switch with the Tessie makes, only because it takes up more drill space and I don't have much room in here. So I think it would be an easier, cleaner install to do a small mini switch. The only thing I would advise with this locking bridge, and you can see, I'll show you how easy it is to install it, is that if you're looking for a traditional look, which like I said, I'm experimenting with this, modding it, doing some funky stuff. I didn't mind the fact that this does not look traditional. So on your typical Gibson, the bridge would just be straight across. This one has this little hole in the middle, I guess to allow for the screw down locking mechanism to work. And it looks a little different. It doesn't look traditional or classic, but this was a build that looks kind of like a Gibson Jackson hybrid anyway, with this pickguard and the way they did the inlays and the truss rod cover. There's some like Jackson elements. And then the elements that I wanted to put on, but it's ended up pretty much looking like a Gibson, and I don't mind modding it because it's not a Gibson. And I don't mind the little changes I made on the Sonex because that pickguard isn't original and it's not going to hurt anything. This, on the other hand, might bug you if the look of it, bothers you. I don't mind because, like I said, I'm going for a kind of a modern experimental effect with this guitar, and I'm also kind of chasing tone and chasing little tweak improvements. So the aesthetics of it were maybe a little second place to getting this locking mechanism to match up with the locking mechanism of the bridge. Now, it's a simple install. All you have to do is remove the original threads, and remember, this is an M8 because this is like an Epiphone build. If you have a Gibson, it's not going to be M8, it's going to be the standard, American English. So I removed the original posts by coming out with a nut driver. If they're already mangled like mine were, you could use a screwdriver. Now when you release these, before that you want to detune the guitar. So I always start with the high E first so it doesn't snap, in case you want to take the strings off, or if you break one you can use the ones that don't break as backups. So I try to break as few strings as possible when I'm removing them, and they can also be recycled. Somebody else could use them. So I always start with the high E and get the pressure off there first. So I take the pressure off enough so that the bridge is removable. You get some slack in the strings up here. Unscrew or get the post off either with like a nut driver, which is the best way, so when you put your new ones on, you don't chuck them all up with the screwdriver. So after removing them and getting some slack on the strings, Now the bridge will just, this bridge and the strings can just be moved off to the side. And then you're going to remove the post completely. If you've just given it enough slack to remove the stop piece, you'll now want to remove the post completely. So that now you've just got the anchor stud post down in there and you no longer have these in position. Then you take the new one and just kind of finger tighten it down on both sides. Put the stop piece in place, the tailpiece in place, and then take these little top things, that are what you kind of screw down or bolt or fasten down. You're now going to take the nut driver, or by hand first, get those down on there. Then use your nut driver to tighten it up, and that way you won't chuck up the middle and get it, looking bad again, marred up. Unless that's the effect you're going for, which I doubt you want to mar it up in that way. It would be more like maybe making it look aged, but still having that gap good and clean. So anyway, very simple to do. I can't say that I hear any difference. The guitar is sounding really good. There's no noise down here anymore. The bridge makes no noise. It intonates now. It's actually become a really good playing guitar, and it's only because I stuck with it at many different points. It seemed like it was, having trouble, and I just kept thinking, I don't think this is going to make it. It's going to end up being wall art. But I just stayed patient, after consternation. I would try to become patient, try to look at it again. The parts I thought I could improve. The pickups were a huge improvement. The biggest one was replacing the original bridge, which is complete garbage, and then moving to this Tone Pros locking bridge. This nice new tailpiece. The electronics are good and clean. The nut is a Tuss nut. New tuners. They're Schaller style by All Parts. I think they were made by, All Parts sold them. I think they were actually, I know for a fact that they were Goto, and they're quite good. It's the Goto economy tuners. But they have the original. I like these, the knobs, the ends better than the ones that came with the Goto. But this is a real nice machine head, or tuning machine. So anyway, the guitar is looking good. I can recommend this if you're looking for something to try. Like if you want to say, oh, I've got this lock in here, I got this lock in there, I do this, I do that. If you're looking for cool little gadgets, little tweaks to add something to the guitar, or you're trying to chase something sonically. For me, I'm starting to think these guitars sound really good clamped down, locked down like this, as opposed to the sort of free rattle sound. Not my thing. It just sounds sloppy. But I do want to ultimately experiment with an aluminum stop piece, because I've heard that was what Les Pauls originally had before they went to zinc, and it gives a special tone, like a little airier tone. So that's something to play with. But the guitar is really starting to become a workhorse for me. I'm writing on it, sitting around playing it a lot, and I'm really grateful to have it. I've learned a lot, and I really like this new metric locking tailpiece stop piece that you could use on pretty much any kind of Gibson guitar. Alright, thanks for tuning in, and I'm really excited. I think this guitar is really going to be ready to go out and play some shows, and maybe do some recording too. Alright, next time.